Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. The chairwoman of the Clark County Commission gets a comp lap dance for her son, according to published reports. We'll talk about that later on, but first, Andy's got the rundown.
Sam, does the fact that the Tax Commission hasn't yet approved regulations regarding these new taxes means that you don't have to pay them? I don't think so, but we're going to talk to Carole Vilardo, president of the Nevada Taxpayers Association, and find out. Sam?
And coming up on the Pundit panel today, Ray Bacon, Martha Gould, and Keith Lee. It's all coming up next on the all-new Nevada Newsmakers.
Nevada Newsmakers, brought to you in part by Charter Communication.
The Abowed family has an appetite for dialogue. Agree or disagree, have the conversation. All opinions are welcome. Since 1977, Adele's.
Catch a straight, dine at 8. Lucky you. Lucky you. Dance till 1. Have some fun. Lucky you. Lucky you. Taste the shrimp. Have a sip. Try the pool. Play it cool. At the Sienna Hotel Spa Casino. Lucky you.
The biggest risk your company can take.
Well, Barbara, you did very well on your interview.
Hiring employees can help your business get to the next level.
And your resume looks outstanding.
And it can also expose you to corporate crimes and costly lawsuits that can bring your company to its knees.
So, we'd like to offer you a position.
Before you hire another employee, hire the professionals at Employer Links. Call today to get our free CD-ROM, the top 8 risk of hiring employees.
If you own a business and want to maximize your company's potential, join the Retail Association of Nevada. Our membership benefits include the Nevada Retail Network Self-Insured Group, providing workers' compensation coverage that can lower your rates. That savings can go directly to your bottom line. We are an effective pro-business organization that lobbies on behalf of our business members. The Retail Association of Nevada, protecting Nevada businesses for 35 years. Call 882-1700 to see what we can do for your organization.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with Sam Shad, political analyst Ande Engleman on No Holds Barred Political Forum. Now, from the News 4 Broadcast Center, here's Sam Shad.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, one of our favorite guests has come up from Las Vegas to join us, Carole Vilardo, and she is the executive director of the Nevada Taxpayers Association. Pleasure to have you here, as always.
Thank you. Thank you for being here, Carole. All right, the Tax Commission has met and drafted regulations. Have they finished yet with all the regulations they need to on the taxes?
Nowhere near finished.
Wow.
They're actually doing what the legislative committee should have done. They're in the position, because of the way the bills were written, of having to have hearings to find out where the problems are and seeing within the confines of the way the language of the bills are, what they can do to address the problems. I mean, quick examples. One of them is that you've got in the financial institutions part of the gross receipts tax, in this particular section, there is a paragraph. And in that paragraph, because of the way it's worded, you have literally captured every business beyond financial institutions, because it says, and any other business that accepts credit. Well, every retailer, every construction company, every doctor, dentist, all do credit and have credit billings. And by that language, they would be captured. And so now the commission has been getting legal opinions to see to what extent they can match this so it follows the intent.
Okay, but now the question is, with the limited amount of time we have in a regular session to begin with, is it possible to have these kind of hearings concurrently with the session going on, or is there always going to be a situation where you're going to have to come back after the fact and fix what didn't get done properly in the first place?
There is always the time during the regular session. The problem that you have is when you have major tax issues, and particularly it involves increases or another segment of the tax-paying public being captured, politics enters into it. And
I'm shocked.
politics becomes, can I get reelected? I mean, that may not be the foremost thought of anybody that's elected, but it's back there. It's pervasive. And, we get through most tax tweakings in a regular session. We have the hearings. We've had Saturday hearings when we've needed. This one went beyond that, and it was twofold. It was budget issues coupled with the tax issues and the level of tax you would need, which is why we had 2 special sessions.
Wow. All right, Carole, how much longer? I mean, they can't put the taxes into effect until they're done with the regulations, right?
No, the taxes are in effect because that's statutory. They're in effect at whatever dates they occurred.
Well, how can they collect taxes when they don't know exactly where to collect them from?
All right, what you've got right now is, as of October 1st, the new version of the business tax was effective, and the old version, known as the head tax, is out. But the first payment is not due until 30 days after the end of the quarter, roughly January 30th. So that is why you have had almost weekly meetings by the Tax Commission, particularly on the modified business tax, including financial institutions and live entertainment, because you need to have something out and done. They're shooting now to have everything done, hopefully by the commission meeting, I think December 5th. That will give the department time to do the forms, prepare an information sheet on who's liable, what your liability is, and how to file.
Okay, are there other major issues that are hanging out there that the commission still needs to rule on?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. There's the live entertainment tax. And I think, as we discussed earlier in one of the shows, one of the problems that you have is you have 2 agencies administering the same tax. You have 3 different sets of conditions. You've got gaming, which used to do the casino entertainment tax, that is trying to modify their Regulation 13.
Gaming Commission and Gaming Control Board.
Gaming Control Board. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's another interesting point. In this instance, the Gaming Control Board was told they would have to adopt the regulations under 233B, the Administrative Procedures Act. In normal business for the Gaming Control Board and Commission, it is the Commission that adopts regulations. So you don't even have the consistency there. We have got, right now, section in Senate Bill 8, which is the major tax bill, that in effect gives the authority to the Tax Commission to identify and put definition to live entertainment.
We have to take a break. We'll take a break. We'll come right back with Carole Vilardo after this timeout.
Hi, I'm Dan.
And I'm Terry.
And this is Dan's Pizza and Parlor. Everything we make here is from scratch. Our fresh cut fries, homemade hamburgers made to order, fresh pizza dough made with 3 types of flour, and Terry's secret pizza sauce, and Dreyer's world famous ice cream. And if you have a sports team, your kids can really have a great time here. Oh! Dan's Pizza and Parlor on Victorian Avenue, just down the street from Great Basin Brewery next to Pyramid Highway.
Would you like to savor a Trento pork chop? Or maybe pasta rags with grilled chicken? Hugo's Tuscan Grill at D'Andrea is a celebration of color, flavor, and freshness. Each dish is created from natural, wholesome foods that is delicious and nutritious. Hugo's is a comfortable restaurant with breathtaking city views. If you enjoy great food and good company, visit us here at Hugo's. It's the best that dining can be. 2900 South D'Andrea Parkway in Sparks.
Welcome to Sushi Club, best sushi in town. The Sushi Club in Independence Square uses the best quality products. The sushi is dynamite, and the service is just wonderful.
The Sushi Club is bigger and better. We have 11 sushi chefs on staff, and the service is great.
All your friends will tell you that Sushi Club is the best place for the best sushi.
Come join us for lunch or dinner.
The Sushi Club, 294 East Moana Lane in the Independence Square.
Now that's great sushi.
To experience the royal cuisine of India, you need some serious magic or simply transport yourself to India Garden, right here in Reno, where you'll discover Indian specialties refined over centuries. Seekh kebab, tandoori dishes cooked in our own tandoor oven, biryani specialties, curries, fresh-baked Indian bread, over a dozen vegetarian dishes, even dishes rare to India like dosa, South Indian-style crepes. India Garden off South Virginia near Sports West. We are India.
And now, back to Nevada Newsmakers with Sam Shad and Ande Engleman.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with Carole Vilardo from the Nevada Taxpayers Association. How did business, in the final analysis, feel about this session? I mean, nobody wants to see their taxes raised, but was this the best of a bad situation?
No. I mean, nobody won. I don't know how you describe it. Business was prepared to have taxes raised. That was a given going into this session. There was just such, I don't know, as it's been characterized by a number of people, the perfect storm coming together with an economy that still hadn't recovered, with an original request for $1.1 billion in new taxes, with a number of people that had different levels at which they would accept the taxes, with, I guess, for lack of better phrasing on my part, a mentality that said there were certain industries you had to get. And one of the problems you have, when you put all of those elements together, and then you add the fact that because of the politics of those elements, not allowing us to complete the job in the regular session and going to 2 special sessions, what you have happen is you're doing taxes based on revenue and what you have finally agreed to. Policy doesn't fit into it at all. When you try to get an industry, such as I was explaining with banks, there are unintended consequences. And boy, are we feeling those now, trying to get this straightened out. Just with everybody, with 2 agencies having to deal with the same tax with different conditions under when it applies, so that you're not treating similarly situated taxpayers the same. And it would not surprise me to find...
That's unconstitutional in our state.
Well, it's not unconstitutional. What it becomes is a bad practice that if you wind up, depending on what the differential is and how you're treating these people, you violate commerce clauses. And as such, it would not surprise me to see a number of lawsuits that are filed as soon as we see the regulations. You can't even contemplate doing that until you see ultimately how everybody's going to be treated and matched.
So how will Sam know how much, if anything, he has to pay in the way of taxes on his business?
He will get a notice from Department of Taxation, hopefully
it has to be 30
before the
days
end.
in advance, doesn't it?
No, that's the regulatory issue with notification. In all probability, they are shooting for the end of December. It may be the first week of January. The problem that has occurred right now, and calls that we get from business, is trying to determine what the liability is. Because government's year, ending June 30th, does not correspond with most of business's year, ending December 31st. Government had to be whole, naturally. It always has to be whole. So it didn't care that it would be impacting the budgets that were business were operating on.
And one of the hidden costs of all of this is that major businesses in this state have been running every scenario possible to try and figure out what their liabilities would be, and that has been a very huge cost to these companies.
It has been not only an expense to the companies. I'll give you another one that's interesting on that. Probably the one policy issue was that we want as many employers as possible to provide medical coverage, so we'll give a deduction. The deduction is given 3 ways, and it's totally inconsistent.
And for small businesses, it's almost meaningless.
It very well could be meaningless. There's going to have to be major rewrites.
That's very disappointing, by the way.
You have the committee that was created by this Senate Bill 8 will hold their first meeting November 19th.
Oh, really?
Yes, so it's going to be interesting to see I expect that meeting will deal more with the administration of the committee,
Right.
and
An
how they'll
organizational
schedule
meeting.
hearings and what they'll discuss.
We're almost out of time.
Go ahead. You grab one, I'll grab one.
Okay, very quickly. You and I have both agreed in the past that this session was about government, for government, by government. And now we have this discussion about public employees in the legislature. Do you think public employees belong in the legislature? And I want your personal opinion, because I know your association hasn't taken
we
a
have
stand.
not taken a position yet. It's a very difficult one, Andy. If you had and could have some rules that would set the boundaries that were absolutes, yes. I mean, the broader the representation you have, the better the laws you should have under normal circumstances.
Okay, I've got one last question for you. The big hit of this fall has been Scary Movie 3. Is Scary Movie 4 the next legislative session where the governor says he won't ask for $200 million, that he knows he's going to need at least half of that?
Oh, I think it's Scary Movie 4, but for even more reasons than that.
And you would like to elaborate for a moment?
Oh, if I can. I thought
Sure.
we were out of time.
We are, but we'll make time for
You're
this.
Carole Vilardo. You get a little extra time.
Okay. No, I think one of the problems that you're going to have is that it would, looking at past history, most of the opponents to the incumbents will probably run on a no-tax platform. We know we have major problems with Senate Bill 8 and the way it was passed. Some of the changes may create areas that were not taxed right now or at a lower rate that have to go higher. And I'm trying to figure out how you make a case to try to move policy in that may change some of the tax revenue structure, increase some in some areas as it's reducing in others, and get people to vote for it, when obviously a good bulk of them are going to say, we did not tell our constituents we were going to raise taxes this time. We did it last time.
Well, I think it's going to be very interesting to see how and if politicians are prepared to say what kinds of services are going to be cut if the taxes aren't raised.
And
that's pretty much the last word. Sorry,
Okay.
last word. We'll be right back on Nevada Newsmakers after this.
Before you head to Carson, take care of yourself with a visit to Tamarack Junction. Catch a hot cup of coffee and the morning news on one of our 32 TVs and enjoy the best food in South Reno. Tamarack Junction, your junction for fun. South Virginia and Amati Ranch Parkway.
The Aboud family has an appetite for dialogue. Agree or disagree, have the conversation. All opinions are welcome. Since 1977, Adele's.
Your home is an expression of all things comforting and familiar. For custom storage, you can count on California Closets to provide quality, value, and design integrity. The process is easy, combining your personal style with our organizing expertise. We care about what matters most to you, making your home functional and beautiful. California Closets, simplifying home and life since 1978. Call today for your complimentary design consultation.
When you sign up for Wells Fargo Free Checking, you get more than free checking. You get the freedom to bank when and where you want. Wells Fargo, the next stage.
Make your daily commute easy with breakfast or lunch at the Tamarack Junction. Enjoy daily specials, super fast service, and South Reno's freshest morning meals. Tamarack Junction, your junction for fun. South Virginia and Amati Ranch Parkway.
And now, back to Nevada Newsmakers with Sam Shad and Ande Engleman.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we are joined by our pundit panel today, Ray Bacon, Martha Gould, and Keith Lee. Welcome to you all.
I want to mention that it's Veterans Day today, and Keith is a veteran, Ray is a veteran, Martha's married to a veteran, and her son is just gone off. And I want to acknowledge the fact that whether you support the war or not, we all support our fighting people over there.
I think we all agree on that.
Absolutely.
All right, let us turn to a topic that has gotten precious little coverage up here in the north, but I just find one of the most remarkable stories, which is the scandals going on down in southern Nevada in Clark County, where the seating county commission chairman, and for folks who may not realize this, the Clark County Commission is in some ways more powerful than the legislature as far as the governance of this state. And we've got the present chairwoman indicted by the FBI. We've got several former commissioners under indictment. Some are singing like birds. Others are protesting their entrance. I'm sorry?
They're tweeting.
Yes, they're tweeting. The man at the center of the scandal, Gilardi, has already gone ahead and pled guilty and is cutting a deal, and he's singing too. What do you guys have to think about this?
Well, you have to take a look right off front at Gilardi's case. Here's a guy who's forfeited, a little over $3 million, plus agreed to, about a $750,000 fine or something like that.
Plus jail time.
Yeah, plus jail time. Okay, at that stage of the game, I find it really difficult to believe that there's going to be any people that are not going to be convicted in this thing. The bigger question to me is, as long as the FBI wiretaps were in place, do you think when other topics came up that they just turned them off and said we don't want to know about any potential bribes that took place from other segments of the community? We're not done, and I think we're not done by years.
This is the tip of the iceberg, and it gives I think a black mark to the entire state of Nevada. Someone said to me yesterday, well, it's Las Vegas. Well, in the eyes of the world, Las Vegas is Nevada. And it sends, I think, an interesting mixed message. If you look at what's going on in television, people love court shows, and they love to hear about scandal and all of this rather interesting stuff. So in terms of Las Vegas and Clark County, it will probably help the tourist trade. But if we think about economic development and economic diversification in the state of Nevada, it does send, I think, a very serious message. If we are going to have economic development, and we need it desperately in the state.
I mean, bottom line, if you're a company coming to Nevada, do you want to deal with a county commission?
But let's put it in perspective too, and I certainly don't condone that. I agree with Ray that those who've been indicted thus far are going to be convicted if they don't plead out. The feds are just too good at what they do, and they're not going to go get an indictment without conviction. But let's also keep in mind that there are still some good folks who serve on the Clark County Commission who are there for the right reason and who are doing a good job in their position. Now, I understand, good news is always on the back page, and if it's under the fold. If it's scandal, then it's front page. But let's put this in perspective, that there's still good folks in Clark County, that there are good folks in the state of Nevada, and that unfortunately, because of the scandal created by a very few, their good works are overshadowed. And I agree with Martha that it's going to hurt to some extent economic development and diversification effort in this state. But I think we shall, we shall overcome this as well.
Do you think it'll hurt northern Nevada as much as it will southern Nevada? I don't.
I'll go so far as to say, for the business person who's looking to move here, typically that has a little bit of long-term vision, is looking at a long-term business plan, it may actually help. Because typically what happens when you go through a scandal, regardless of what state's gone through one, Louisiana is better off today for having gone through the Edwin Edwards thing. Kentucky's much better off for jailing 18 of their legislators. So typically the guy who's looking long-term knows that if you move now while there's a temporary stigma on a state, that long-term you wind up with probably a better governance situation than you do almost any other way. So the visionary is going to say, now's the time to come here. It may actually help.
Is there any way to prevent this? I mean, is it right to have some kind of vetting process before people get elected?
Well, I mean,
when they're in such positions of power?
The vetting process is the electorate. I mean, that's what the election process is all about. And we were talking before we came on camera today about, some people run for public office and seek public office for the right reasons, and that's to do the greater good. There are a limited number, thank goodness, in this state and elsewhere, who run and get elected and serve for the wrong reasons. And that is for their own personal gain. And, you know, you never find out about those, generally speaking, until after the fact.
Well, one of the problems that we face today in people running for office, and I've talked to people here in the North in terms of, are you going to run for office again, or are you willing to run for office? And I'm getting some interesting answers, and for those who've never run for office before, who would be interested are saying no. First of all, raising money is much too difficult. And secondly, they don't want to put themselves or their families in the arena.
Correct.
When I ran for mayor, I developed a hide like that of a rhinoceros.
You have to.
Right.
And it was, I mean, I got phone calls that were vile.
We're out of time. I want to quickly say kudos to Harry Reid for showing what somebody at age 63 can do.
We'll talk more about that tomorrow. We'll be right back.
Lori Ann and the staff of St. Ives Florist invite you to a very special occasion. On Saturday, November 15th, you won't want to miss our 12th annual holiday open house and design preview from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. The St. Ives family would love to share our magical wonderland with you and your family. St. Ives Florist, simply the finest, hopes your holidays are simply the warmest.
And I look forward to seeing you Saturday, November 15th at our holiday open house.
Atlantis is cooking up a party. It's every diner's paradise. Toucan Charlie's Buffet and Grill, voted Reno's best buffet by locals year after year. Experience the Mongolian barbecue, new Asian station, and sumptuous exhibition stations filled with fresh entrees, salads, and desserts. Try the Friday night seafood buffet and Sunday champagne brunch. Atlantis.
Hi, I'm Dan.
And I'm Terry.
And this is Dan's Pizza and Parlor. Everything we make here is from scratch. Our fresh cut fries, homemade hamburgers made to order, fresh pizza dough made with 3 types of flour, and Terry's secret pizza sauce, and Dreyer's world famous ice cream. And if you have a sports team, your kids can really have a great time here. Oh! Dan's Pizza and Parlor on Victorian Avenue, just down the street from Great Basin Brewery next to Pyramid Highway.
Nevada Newsmakers, brought to you in part by Charter Communication.
And tomorrow we've got Don Soderberg about the utility rates and a special celebrity guest.
We'll see you.